Ephesians chapter 5. Wow. Ephesians chapter 5. Let me see. I have, I guess, not sure where everybody is this morning, but I do have a few of y'all in here this morning. Is everybody that hear me this morning, are you single? Is everybody single that hear me this morning? I know Toya is having breakfast with her mother-in-law them this morning. Is everybody single?
Yes, ma'am.
Why you sound so sad about it? Is everybody single this morning?
Yes, ma'am. I feel like a dollar bill.
Everybody is single this morning. All right. Because I was looking at something and I might talk about it. But I need to really hold it for a singles meeting. You know, to have a singles meeting and kind of hold it. It's like prep. Well, let me say this right here. Is anybody intending on being married? And soon, if it happens soon, like if he showed up Monday and y'all started seeing each other and knew he was the one, and Tuesday he said, "Will you marry me?" and Thursday y'all get married. Anybody believe in that?
Me?
All right. Okay, so Ephesians chapter 5, is that the only person on here that believes in? I got one that believes that way and one that cares about being married. Anybody else care about being married that's among us this morning? What my dollar bill got to say? What did the dollar bill have to say about it? Dollar bill want to stay single, or does dollar bill ever want to get married?
What did the dollar bill have to say? What the dollar bill have to say? Talking about that? Yeah. I don't believe him. But you know what? My cousin, she hear background. That happened to my cousin. She met this guy, and I think they probably dated for like a week, and then after that, he married her.
It happened to my sister in California. I think they knew each other about 3 weeks, and they've been married now about 30. They've been married over 30 years, 30 or 31 years. So it does happen. So I asked that for a reason, because there's some stuff in Ephesians chapter 5. If I choose to go into it to look at it, that could be some great preparation for singles to help with concerning marriage. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I do not plan on staying single the rest of my life. And I really hope that's not God's plan either. So, Ephesians chapter 5 this morning, and we are still winning in life. We still winning in life. So, Ephesians chapter 5, I did some of it on Tuesday. I walked down to verse 17 on Tuesday morning for prayer, and I talked about purpose. Now, it is amazing to me how when this talks about purpose, it actually goes in to tie into some other things. So let's go down to Ephesians 5 and let's start with verse 18. Ephesians 5 and verse 18. Let's pick it up here. So what this says here now is he talks about in verse 17 about understanding what the will of the Lord is. Now he's fixing to say, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. So now that right there has been used in context of thinking like alcohol beverages. But literally the translation of that is when someone is intoxicated, that they are impaired, which means they cannot think properly. So wine is used as synonymous in that text in meaning that don't be so full of yourself, or don't be so full of bull crap, or are full of whatever it is that is an excess. So when it uses the word drunk, because to be drunk means that there has been excessive abuse of this thing. So don't be so full of conceit that you are so conceited. Don't be so full of pride that you become prideful. It's saying, don't be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit, it's saying. So that's what verse 18 is talking about. Go down to verse 19 now. It says that you're speaking to yourselves in psalms, in hymns, in spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. These are ways that, what it's saying here, that these are ways that you're going to keep yourself in a right frame of a righteous, I shouldn't say right, but a righteous frame of mind. By doing these things, you're going to speak to yourself in psalms and hymns. Have you ever been in a situation where some of the old songs come back in your mind and you begin to sing them? Like on last week, I know I was singing A Charge to Keep. I was singing I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I was singing I'm a witness for my Lord. When I sung I'm a witness, man, the power of God just came in so strong when I began to sing I'm a witness for my Lord. So he says, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, things that keep you motivated, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. So this is what he's talking about doing here. Okay, so this is all winning in life. This is all protocol. These are all I don't want to use the word prerequisites, but you can say prerequisites, but really and truly it's not a prerequisite, because it's something that you continuously have to literally do. Verse 20 says, giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. So I got to make sure that I am not drunk in excess of whatever. I can't be so full of myself. I can't be so stubborn. I can't be so prideful that it is in excess, but I need to be filled with the Spirit. Then it tells me to speak to myself in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, making a melody in my heart unto the Lord. Now it's saying I need to give thanks for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. So I need to give thanks. These are things that help me to win in life. I've got to be thankful. If you ever notice, at a time in our life when we are not thankful, that is the time we are most distant away from God. That is the place where we literally start accusing God. Why ain't you do this for me? Or we literally become offensive at God because something is not happening the way that we want it to happen. So it says if we stay in a place of giving thanks unto God, then it will put us in a position to always be winning in life. Now, this is the part right here where it begins to shift, because he now starts talking about unison. The things that I've showed y'all just prior to now is him speaking to as just one individual, speaking to yourself. But now he's about to go into a unison, because he understands that there is family, that there is marriage that takes place. So now he's fixing to go into a unison. So this is why I was saying, like, anybody interested in being married and even with the married people, understanding the whole context of how this actually works so that you know how to win in life. People, check it out. Verse 21, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Notice what it says. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Now, that in context means that I am not going to do anything to you that I don't want you to do to me. Why? Because I reverence, I respect God. I understand that you are God's creation as well as I am. And if I do anything to you, then that means that I literally have hurt God. Why? Because I've hurt God's creation. So if I do anything to you, so I cannot. That's what this is talking. Ephesians 5 and verse 21. Submitting yourself. So The submitting yourself is not in the context of what people think. Become a doormat. That's not what submission is. Submitting yourself means that I take you into consideration. That's all submit means. I take you into consideration. I don't just do something, but I consider you before I do it. That is the submitting of oneself. That does not mean that I become a sucker for you and I'm supposed to do what you say do and bow when you tell me to bow. That's a robot, and that is a spirit of control. But submitting means that I take you into consideration. I'm not going to make a decision that before I talk to you, because it may impact the both of us. It may impact the family or however. So he says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to hurt God. Verse 22. Okay, did I make 21 clear before I move on? I don't want to get ahead of myself with y'all. Did I make 21 clear? Are y'all walking with me so far?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. So verse 22. Now he comes into unison. Now he's fixing to come into family or so, or couple connection. He's fixing to come into this now. He says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. All he's saying is, as a wife, consider your own husband. Please don't base your things off of somebody else's husband. Don't look at how Billy Bob does Sally Sue and then want to put that on your husband. You're going to consider your own husband. Even in the context of, let's go in a little further. Even in the context of, he said, submit yourselves unto. So that means that I am literally submerging myself into him. I'm not withholding myself from him, but I'm submerging myself into him. It literally means to submerge, to come up under, which means to be a part of. So submit yourselves unto your own husband. Come up under, become a part of your own husbands, he says, as unto the Lord. Please catch that. As unto. So he's saying that it is supposed to happen with the both of them. I'll tell y'all why. Because the Bible lets us know that a threefold cord. Threefold. What is that threefold? Somebody tell me what that threefold cord consists of as it relates to a marriage.
Husband, God, and wife.
That's right. That's right. So not only am I to submit to the husband, but I am to also submit to the Lord. So he says, wives, submit, submerge, bring yourself under your own husband, become a part of your own husband. As unto the Lord, as unto means you're doing the same thing unto the Lord as you would do of your husband. Verse 23, for the husband is the head of the wife. That's in reference of saying man was created first. Man was created first. A lot of alpha women, so to speak, have an issue with that in context, because he ain't no head of me. Well, man was created before woman. Yeah. Even in conception, it's male then female. Yeah. male then female. It's not female then male. It's male then female. It's going to go through the stage of male, then it becomes a female if it's to be a girl. So